Aiden, and this is my dad, Noah. And for 4 years now, we've been doing the follow-up podcast, where we sit on my bed and have a conversation about whatever we want to talk about. So this week, we're going to talk about the Broadway show we went to today. So we went to, for anyone who's watching, you can see it, and Juliet. None of us had been, and we had a great time. So we can't wait to tell you all about it.
Yeah. And we're also trying out these new microphones. I don't think mine was charged properly, so I'm going to try to speak even louder because now I think my voice is coming through your microphone. I think so. Sometimes we might move your hair away from the microphone. We're just trying some different things. So anyway, okay. So, and Juliet went with grandparents today, Father's Day. It was nice.
Father's Day edition
of the follow-up. And the show itself there's no original music like a lot of Broadway shows. It's all pop songs.
Yes.
Okay, so explain, without giving spoilers away, just explain the show itself. So you're not giving anything away. You want to give a teaser.
I don't know what happened to Romeo and Juliet. So, how would you? I don't know.
You don't know what happened? Well, in the beginning of this show, they
do.
Tell you what happened.
I know. Well, it would be if Juliet didn't die at the end of Romeo and Juliet.
Great.
What happened next?
Right.
I guess you can explain it like that.
Exactly. So it's really, she's the star, Juliet, and the whole show is about women empowerment and Juliet having this choice here and not just fawning over Romeo, what happened in Romeo and Juliet. So it's that's where they show from a little bit beforehand, and then it picks up with, Juliet doesn't die, so she's gonna go live her life, and all of these things are going to happen.
Very funny.
Yeah, so
it's very funny how in the beginning all this happens. It's interesting.
Yeah, I loved the way they told the story.
Yeah, it was very
and incorporated the music
through all this music.
Yeah,
and
so go ahead.
It's all pop from the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So I should read it.
Yeah, you can read. Yeah, read some of the songs that were in it.
Okay. Well, I'll do some big ones that people know. Well, I'll read. Everyone knows all of that.
Okay, so just give a few.
From Act 1, Baby One More Time, I Want It That Way, Domino, and Confident.
Awesome. Yeah, so it's...
and Teenage Dream / Bake Free.
So Britney Spears, Katy Perry, In Sync, I think, and Backstreet Boys. Okay, Act 2.
Since You've Been Gone, Problem, Ariana Grande, Can't Feel My Face, don't know who that's by. Stronger, Roar, Can't Stop the Feeling.
Yeah. So
that's for bows, but
so they work all of these songs into the story of Juliet. So what did you make of? It's a very 2024 story of women empowerment and gender biases, and even at the theater itself, all the bathrooms were just gender neutral bathrooms. We all went into a bathroom with just 30 stalls, and you just go in, go to the bathroom, wash your hands, and you're out. So
it's not bad.
No, exactly. Yeah. So what did you make of the show's message, and then what was the other thing that you really walked away from the show thinking about?
I thought it was a great show with that. I think I totally agree with you. Just talking about women empowerment, all these other things like choices, and I think those were some things I think that I feel like everyone walked away with just these ways people empowered in these things, all these people, different stories, and I think that was really
You're trying not to give anything away here.
Yes, I'm really trying. I'm trying really hard.
But there was some preconceived notions of a relationship that took place, and so changing the father's feelings about his son, and then Juliet feeling no, I don't need to give this person a chance. I'm growing up and who I am, and sure, I also took away that from the choices, etc. But like she made some mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's all right. And you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and right now you probably don't think that you are, because nobody thinks that they're going to make mistakes. I still think I'm going to make mistakes. I'm just not going to make mistakes in romantic relationships because I'm mom. You have your whole life ahead of you. You're going to make romantic mistakes in relationships. I know it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know it's weird, but
it is.
But you're going to. And but always know that you have the choice, and you need to fight for what you want.
Yes.
And you don't let somebody else make your decision for you.
Yes.
So you fight for what you want, and at different times along your life, you're gonna have different priorities also. So what really stood out about the performers to you? What did you like?
I think, I'm not trying to make a joke about the band. They were all very in sync. I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
There was great choreography, especially on the dancers' side. I think the acting was great. I think it was a great musical with dancing, singing. Excuse it, just hit the mic. And I think it was really great.
Anything else aside from great? You say great now. That's one of those words I'd like to bury in the vocabulary graveyard.
It was.
Give me some other words.
Magnificent.
Okay. Yeah. What about impressive?
Impressive, yeah. Very impressive.
So you said that the performers were really in sync, and the voices were beautiful, and you're so tired from the show because you were all excited. It was I find it incredibly impressive to watch Broadway performers, and especially singing and dancing, because I relate it to seeing so many sporting events, and like that stage is like their field or their court.
Yes.
And in an NBA game, because I know we watch a lot of NBA together, there's always 10 players on the court, but they're not all of equal talents. Like you can very easily tell who the best players are. On a stage like that, I can't tell, but I just know because of who's the lead or who's not. But I don't know the difference between the lead and maybe someone who's just in the ensemble, in the chorus. And what will it take for that member of the chorus to become the lead one day? In the NBA, you can see the best player and then like maybe someone who doesn't play a whole lot, and you can know, okay, well that player just is never going to be the star of the team. And so I find these performances that are so physical and I think the fact that they do sometimes 2 shows in a day is mind-blowing to me. And then one of these people could just be walking by me on the street tomorrow, and I would just like walk right by. I wouldn't know who they were.
You wouldn't. But
I was so impressed by them today.
Yeah. Well, like you were telling me this earlier, like these people, like they might just walk by you on the street, and you're not gonna think anything of it.
Right.
But then you actually notice it later. Well, you might not with that exact person, but you know what I mean. And you're like, wow, that person might have just walked by me on the street today.
Yeah, and when I'm watching a Broadway performance, I'm in awe of these people because this talent is just so otherworldly. And Broadway itself is the largest business in New York City. And so to see a crowd and to be part of that energy that the actors are. Are you bored or are you just tired?
Tired.
Okay.
Bored.
That the actors are playing off of, I find to be magnificent.
Yes,
really.
It is.
Yeah. And I also think that the songs themselves, when you listen to songs in different situations, they mean different things.
I agree.
So if you're just listening to a song in your room, what might you be thinking?
Well, depends on the song, but maybe like I like the song. You feel this certain way. You're just like happy, maybe you're dancing or whatever, but you don't think anything of it.
Right. So it could, like, the beat could be great. You might just be singing the words, but not putting it into any sort of context or where the writer is coming from of the song. Then you see it on a stage, and you feel the love story behind it, or you feel the tension between two characters, and then they're singing this song, and it makes me feel, at least, oh, I get it. I understand that. I understand that situation. I understand these situations more so that I've been in these situations. You probably less so, since you're 9 years old.
Yeah.
But you feel a certain way, and also it's different when things. I remember crying in the movie theater when I saw The Lion King. I remember tearing up at TV shows when I was a kid. So it doesn't take a whole lot for me to get emotional over certain things, performances. But when you're a father and you're a parent, and you have, especially when you have, I think at least, or I guess my only experiences with with a daughter, and then you see those types of performances, especially when it comes to love and relationships and like heartbreak and mistakes. Like I never want you to have that feeling ever, because it's painful. It rips you out. But I know you're going to feel it. I'd love to be able to do everything I can to protect you from that. I can't. And you actually should experience it also. Not to the point where you're drinking poison and then someone else is dying and Romeo and Juliet style. Yeah. But you should be so lucky in your life to feel that type of intensity in a romantic relationship at some point in your life. But then seeing that in a show with that music. So I was like dancing in my seat. I was crying. I was laughing. That to me is as Jim Valvano said, like, that's a good day. If you can cry a little bit, you laugh, you find the joy, and you actually have some of those feelings. It's a pretty full day, and I think this show provided a pretty full emotional experience. Thanks for listening.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks. You didn't think I got all of that from that show, huh? But you wouldn't know that.
I'm not sure.
Because you're just a kid. You're just a kid. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the show.
Thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it and took so much away from it.
All right. I love you.
Love you.